Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back. We are playing Timberborn once more. We are with our beautiful Iron Teeth in Beaver Canyon. Now when we left off last time, we have finished our first, I'm going to call it a mega project. I mean, it's not a small build. It takes a long time to put down that amount of wood. And so this is our first project, and it is a bad water diversion slash permanent power system. And so that's going to build, that's all plugged in, that's providing us a beautiful amount of power. And so everything is going along hunky-dory. I did manage to, after that, delete a whole bunch of engines, which... should be okay. I may have gone and overdone it by the looks of things. But, so all of these seem to be on 270 no matter where they are. Hang on, let's unpause. Oh, that's a better. They've rearranged. And so has our power. Okay. And then we came along and we are blocking off these water sources. We are unfortunately about to bury whoever this is. Ironbot 289. Very durable, unfortunately. It's about to be buried alive because I can't figure out how to get him out. He's, yep, he's going down for the cause. And then over here... we need to finish marking this off, which I'm going to go and do now. Unfortunately, we're going to have to destroy a couple trees because the forest is so big that they just don't get around to cutting them, although they could do soon. We have actually made a dent in this forest. I thank you very much for the subscription on YouTube. So I didn't quite get the first name. I think it was Nihil. Nihul. Didn't quite look like Nathan. That's all I know. And being British, that's first name I suspect. And then we need to go ahead and put down an extended version of our irrigation barriers. We go ahead and up the speed a bit because watching them slowly pound away with the hammers is dreadful. And that does go and mean that go and demolish. Oh, look at it. Irrigation returns. Unfortunately, not for long. And so what we need to do... I feel like I've slightly messed up in the designing of this one. The point where we may have to go a little bit further with... We have, in fact, marked go a little bit further, but let's go and mark those trees. So this will go over that. And we need to... Now we don't have to quite do all of these, admittedly, but... Go ahead and fast forward even more. I think we're okay. I mean, all of our resources are nice and high. I'm not worried. Although our... I can't remember if our algae rations were in fact starting to go down or starting to go up. I don't know why they'd... Well, I potentially know why they'd start to go down because we do have a slightly growing society of beavers. Now we are getting our happiness up, which there's still more to come. The only thing missing in aesthetics is a beaver statue. I'm sure I could get a couple of those. Potentially on the main walkway next to the next to the clocks. Waiting for materials. Now, they will eventually come along and get built, but we are mostly focusing on what is over here. Our second reservoir is now being built. And isn't it just going to be beautiful? And if I was to attempt, I use the word attempt very much, to work this out, we would have 1, 2, would put a third on the corner. And what would be the most efficient? If I put the third on the corner, then I could get another one. Oh wait, it would work better on the other side. 1. I'm not going to put them down a second because they'll get built, and I'm very much still looking through all of this, folks. That'll be 1. Then miss 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And like I said, it would kind of be on the turn, but still very much be done. It does kind of put me one off being aligned with the current power shaft, mind you. And then if I was to do that, we have 1 there. And I can place these for a second because they're not going to build them whilst I'm not looking. We would have 1 there. Okay, and 1 there. So we could come a couple to the side. So I could, for instance, chuck all of these 1 further up. And that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that kind of have me putting 1 on the bend a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this would be the line, which really wouldn't do much. Could be going in the wrong direction. So I think the original spacing does look a little bit better. And then you have a little bit at the end to see your bad water leave the map. And yes, that one can go there. Because they can all sit on here, and then I can have 1 long power shaft coming down here into this one, and kind of out the other side. Kind of. Said I kind of. It's 1 misaligned, and that's going to break me, but not so much that I'm going to redesign the whole thing. And then with that, yes, this also then needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This also then needs to be on that side. So the power shafts for these ones will run along here, and then these will all run down here. Being the case, starting from here. We need some more power shafts, and then coming up from there we need obviously a couple of verticals and the joining piece. This will be lovely point by there and there. Oh, lovely little jump. connect all of this up. And basically then go and see it in action. That will plug straight into that one. So these will in fact all go through this power wheel. And then all of these will come to here. That will all be connected currently to absolutely nothing. And of course we do also need to cap this off as well. We are getting a good amount of metal coming over. What does the cap cost me? 200 metal, 50 dynamite, and 300 cogs. Go ahead and place that down. We're going to start with it closed and see if we can maybe start cleaning some of this up until we're ready for it to leave the map. You're going to go mark that as a little bit more important, so they'll build it when they get in range. And then so over here, back to our little... Okay, no beavers were trapped in the making of this device. Then... needs to be marked for demolition. Going to go and remove him once again. Not the most efficient way of doing all of this, but I do want this packed in as tight as possible. And one last piece. He's finished hammering away. Okay, and so you need to close above a contamination of 1%. You need to close above a contamination of 1%. And what's the point? Is he actually turned on? He's not. Let's also... And these, that should be these two water sources. Defended? Secure? Not quite sure which word you'd like to use. Against a bad tide. Sorry, mate. I mean... Can I delete bots? He's just trapped there. He is just trapped there. He has decided that he would rather be one with the mechanism. And so he will go down with the machine. Something like that. So yep, most other things going along quite well. Our canola oil is dipping a slight bit, because we're now really pushing it out for grease. Now we've always got canola seeds. So, and it looks like we're not going to struggle to get those in from our farm. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes next with that. See if there's anything that needs improving for efficiency. Now, we were also talking about last time, coming all the way over here and starting yet another district. We technically would have another mine. That would be a focal point. All of this area for trees and crops. We would have to do something about water up here, although... once we've opened this, getting something in here maybe for a bit of water and irrigation wouldn't be too difficult. Now, there's not really much need for the third district. Just kind of because, really. That's pretty much it. Just because. It would mean potentially another couple of bot factories and builders, and that will give me a whole more bots to use. I could of course send over the Iron Teeth themselves, but you know, I kind of gotten used to the idea that we were going to be okay. There's just everything's being delivered. They're just not building them, but that's fine. At least the materials are there. I've kind of gotten used to this now being just one giant big Beaver neighborhood that they're all really, really happy to be in. And we do need 32,000 altogether in terms of that. We still have a couple of number crunches. And we'll keep these going. There's no harm. But I will get rid of those very soon. Once we reach 32, I'll probably get rid of them. There's not much else that's going to take a huge amount away from me. Although I say that. And we got about 4,000 here. But of course, you know, time will keep going on. And so the 4,000 or so I lose will easily be replenished. Coming back. I mean, I could then use this for a big farming area to basically start getting me everything I don't currently have. Cassava, soybeans, mushrooms are easy. They can be done over on the other side, really, with the bots. As that's just more hydroponic gardens. And we would have, I think, eggplant is one of them. Corn. So, I mean, there's quite a few things I still need to grow. We are, of course, filling up on coffee. And I think to do that, I think the easiest way really would be to have bots. And so if that's the case, I mean, our metal is going up. What do more bots take? Now, of course, I'd have to have power over there in the form of the charging stations, but I think I can just plug that into an engine. So I'm going to have, I'd say, a fairly big forest industry over here. Which, to be honest with you, I would actually probably need some form of power input anyway. I think it would just be a couple of engines. Because I am going to have most probably a couple of food sources, etc. So what this would look like, we've got a water source here, which is our only water source, because this, in fact, comes from here, which is now, he says, safeguarded from bad tide. And this is in a really annoying formation in terms of covering it up. I think what I'd have to go and do is go and design this out. I'll level that off there. It won't affect the flow. I'm very, very certain of that because there almost is no flow. A couple of sluices. Then yeah, we can go and finish that off. I mean, again, it makes it a little bit bigger, but also makes it a little bit squarer. Wow, it's weird how that's at a different height. Oh, it's at a different height because it's too big. That'd be why. And it's also in the wrong place and completely unnecessary. That would be exactly why it looks weird. It wasn't just me, folks. We're just going to go and square it off because it looks a little bit nicer. Go and there's a very big flaw to this design, as in it doesn't work. What we're going to go and do, you're not going to see the internal workings of this, so I can live with it. We shall back to using this. Put those that way. They'll then come into there. And of course we have the beautiful impermeable flooring. That would be stage 1. And don't let any contamination through. That would be stage 1. Of course, the other part of stage 1 is getting over there to begin with. It'd be a simple case of blocking off all exits, quite frankly. Probably leave it at that for now. Stage 2 would be to come down here. Do the same for here, although this would have much more development going in, as this would need much further irrigation. That would hold for now, and obviously we'd have to remove these trees and get in there as well. And we could, in essence, start this off quite small, as in with not many bots, because if I could get an engine, a lumber mill, and some log storage, that all powers itself, and then I can have the charging stations, which would power then the bots, and then a district center. So I'd need maybe 2 bots. That'd be about it, really. Sorry, not 2, but about 6 bots. 2 for the district crossing, 2 for the district center, 1 for the lumberjack. So 5 bots even to start with. Just to start to get things moving. It wouldn't take too much. The question would be about how I get over there and where I build my district crossing. Oh, we're coming along very nice. I assume they're now chucking resources into this? Yes. Explain why things have slowed down just a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, I feel like I would straight shoot across this way. I'd be aiming to use this to help get myself across. So that would end up looking something like Pray and Hope. Yep, that can go all the way across. Problem is getting this across to actually build this bit. And I feel like I mean, the problem is that we have rubble here, so I won't be able to build on top of that. I'd have to build something somewhere. Now, of course, we do already have this wonderful path going straight up the middle of the waterfall, which isn't bad. Certainly not a terrible, terrible idea. And that could quite easily become a district crossing. Little double point district crossing coming right up to there. For now, that would just be filled in. And then I'm very happy we've reached that one as opposed to the bottom one. That does put us a lot higher, at least to start with. And then... we're to build that one there. Trying to think how I can get across here using the least amount of effort. That does mostly get us over the river. Again, saves us a little bit, which was kind of the goal. What am I aiming for? Ah, never mind, because I've landed right in the middle of everything. And I think... could potentially drop down one. So I say that as well. We could probably do that from the start, couldn't we? Probably drop down one in stages. So let's go ahead and get rid of these two. If I was to, in fact... although the problem is the way this works, that would mean building a whole another row of uprights. As these things are a little bit... although, no, not necessarily. Not for this first one. So if we go and build that there, and then we go and build... this off here, then how are we? How are we doing for ourselves when it comes to this? There you go. We can drop down one by there. We drop down another one by here with ease. I mean, I don't think so. It makes us building a whole nother tower area. And we would have to drop down another 3 to get level with this ground. Could that in fact be done? That's... oh, that's off. That was maybe wishful thinking there. We were to drop down 2 more. That's off. Ah, there's a tree there. There's a tree there. Maybe if we just drop down 1 more, as I'm not going to attempt to go down there for the tree. Then we built the bridge. Then we could... we're actually then a lot higher to begin with, which helps this an awful lot. Then we could drop down one again. And then we're basically there. So if we were to go and... throw that there, that basically gets us across. And the only thing I don't like about this is that these suspension bridges, just because of the ropes, it makes the whole thing kind of look like it goes up and down and up and down. And I don't know. That actually bothers me a little bit. kind of like up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. Like, looks all higgledy-piggledy. No, I think we can live with that. And that is all connected, I believe. Yes, it is. And so what we're going to do, build a path, and I can't get a large industrial pile in here. Almost can. Almost. So what I'm going to go and do is lumberjack flag in there. I'm going to mark just a couple of trees for cutting, because we need basically 3, 6. So the only tree I'm going to mark for cutting is this one. The weight. And this one. We are going to actually have to get a path to... I'm going to have to get a path to our storage. I'm going to chuck that in there. That just out of the way, so we can technically keep having a path come through here as well. And then I'll mark the rest of it for cutting, and we'll start moving forward. Okay, so that comes after our aqueduct. We start to move to the idea of District 3. And there you go. That's beautifully closed off. This will very slowly drain. I mean, we are currently in a drought, so that will keep going forward. And then we need to think of increased bot production. Now, we don't need to worry too much about increased bot production quite yet, but definitely something to think of and keep an eye on. Because it is going to be a while till we get to District 3. But we can always start the beginnings of said project. For instance, we can get some more bot factories. Now, because of where I've gone and thrown everything, are we struggling? Well, we are struggling for scrap metal. Interesting. Let's go and get some more bots in here. Yep, these are the ones that are free. Every 1.8 hour now, so we've kind of just gone and doubled our efficiency with that one. I think it was 3 hours, so it was currently used to be on. So we should now get a good amount of scrap metal. And that should allow everything to keep growing. And so with that, I really don't think our metal industry is going to be in any trouble whatsoever, because that is in fact growing very rapidly. Our gears are as well, I believe, growing. Our planks are maxed out and stuck there. So on that, I can get rid of this stairway now. It has served its purpose, and it now kind of finds itself in my way. Let's... There's no resources that I find that I want. So we are going to end up deleting some of the rubble. Not too much of it, just 2 pieces. They can reach this for now. Although no storage. No storage. So there is always that. And then if we come down to science... 150 horsepower. We've got 1,000 spare with this turned off, so that'll work out. Go ahead and grab ourselves 2 more factories. Now, of course, we do need a 3rd, which I can very easily go and place in here. Sorry, I paused that half through a sentence. It's probably a bit weird for all of you watching. My brain kept going. Everything else stopped. Go and level that off. Go and build that up. Planks and metal. Yep, that should be fine. Here's some planks. Again, I'm hopeful that's also fine. No, sorry, not the bot assembler. Another bot part factory. And then I could build access to them. I could build a bot assembly on both of these two. It would look ugly as sin. I don't know, you're marked to be a beaver and not a bot. It's very weird how it keeps doing that. It is set for bots to be all of my new workers. That one is a little bit strange for me. Ah, right, yes, we could do with the path, opening that one up. That always helps. And so what I, in essence, could do is build a set of stairs up to here, build the bot assembler one backwards, which looks a little bit ugly. Then I can also build pathing coming up to this one as well. Or I could build a path that goes around the back and plugs into both of these. How are we doing on power? This is without the extra. We still have 700 to spare, so power won't be a problem. Not at all. How are we doing in terms of everything else? Water is all looking good everywhere. Water's still looking good in the home territory. I'm going to go and delete one more of these because I can. Coffee will hold out for the drought. Okay. I think we're looking good. There are so many things that my beavers can build, even if they can't get the one bit, they should be able to get to the rest. I do have some scaffolding here. Hang on, that's actually a bit better. Ah, right, this is a bridge. There you go. I mean, they can go and build that if they can't reach anything. They've got the scaffolding. They've got the power shafts. They can go around this side or this side to get to this. There's plenty that they can get to that they won't probably run off to other projects quite yet. Now, this is a problem, however, that our swimming pools turn themselves off in a long drought, because this is just not sufficient enough to hold enough water. Now, one plan for that is to get all of this valley flooded. That would mean building a massive dam somewhere. Whether I built it, I'd probably then maybe aim to build it here. Or potentially through here with this bit of natural rock formation included. That would, however, I believe, because I'm not gonna lie, I've looked at this before, I believe that would mean building a barrier across here as well, because I think that floods this whole plane. I think this is one level lower than that. There's that as well. Lots of storage over there. So let's keep an eye on our gears. We have been using a lot to... We did use a lot to finish building this. But let's keep an eye on them. I think they are actually going down rather rapidly. Our metal seems to be holding. And our planks, again, seem to be holding. Yep, it's just our gears are now going down with our extra factories. Although we'll give them a moment to stabilize, because obviously these did eat a lot of gears fairly quickly. I mean, they took 30 just to fill themselves up. So we'll keep a eye on it, and we'll start looking at what we can potentially do. Get more gear factories in the works. Yeah, 'cause it's stabilizing at just above 600. I don't think there's too much of a panic or a rush. Looks like it's holding firm for now. Of course, we do also have this whole plane as well. But the problem with this one is there's no water sources nearby. I think it would be a lot harder to utilize this one compared to coming over here. Then we have a couple of our water sources. We would need to think of some kind of reservoir defense potentially as well. Although we're not going to have beavers over here, so we don't actually need drinking water. We just need irrigation water. And so that whole idea is okay, really. But I don't think it would last during a drought. I mean, let's have a look at up here. Yeah, I mean, all of this is dried out. This is a lot thinner, of course. These are only 1 width channels. Oh. What's going on in here? Why is this all bad water? Is there a hole in my... Yeah, it's just annoying. It won't let me select the sluices. But hey. Close above contamination 1%. It is automatically set to be closed. Contamination is 42%, however. Interesting. That's all boxed off. That's all boxed off. That's sluice. That's all impermeable floored. Is this from when I went and messed up the first time? I did mess up. I do remember that. Oh, yeah. This is now going to... Oh, that's a fight. That should actually help it drain a little bit faster. Don't creep too much further, because you'll start killing things. I think it's potentially just taking a very, very long time. Drain. Yeah, let's have these sluices, please. Let's keep draining it out bit by bit. Yeah, as long as they don't get any further and start contaminating things, I'm happy with that. Now doing this could take all day. Is in fact, however, be faster than waiting on evaporation, because this is a very nice square. Evaporation rates are probably quite low. Although you'd expect this to overflow. I mean... That one actually doesn't seem to do anything, which is odd. Huh. Yes, no, I've actually just gone and drained a little bit below. Not this bit above here. Contamination is dropping off. The contamination here, however, is 88%. I feel like there's something going wrong with this. I feel like this shouldn't have happened. I need to come back here on a bad tide and see what's going on. Now, this is going to overflow. Contamination is dropping rapidly. However, it is still very contaminated. Shouldn't do too much damage. Hopefully won't get to do any damage. Yes, very good. Because it is cleaning itself out really quickly. Down to 16% contamination. There you go. It's starting to look a bit more blue than it is red. Down to 10% contamination. Now it just looks like water you wouldn't want to drink. % contamination. No, it's just a funny shade of blue. 5% contamination. Now it's technically, by Beaver standards, safe to swim in. However, I still wouldn't quite go drinking it without it being purified first. And then, yeah, okay, so that's... So yeah, that shouldn't have been in this state of bad water. There's no reason. Because as long as it's flowing, it cleans itself out. That makes me think there's something going wrong here. And I'm not sure what, because I'm sure it's sealed. I mean, that is impermeable floor. Those are all levees. These are sluices, which are all, I wish I could say, set. 1%, 1%. Yep, they're all the same. They're all on auto. They're all turned on. That is closed. So no bad water should get through. I mean, that is a sealed unit. Interesting. Well, I'll come back and watch that on a bad tide. Gonna turn on the water. It's a lovely, lovely blue color. Should be on 0% contamination. Cleaned itself out, so at least it's self-cleaning. There is that. And how are we doing over here? We have not built any of that, which is fine. We are getting some work done on this. And what's the point? Our gears, they're dropping ever so slightly by the looks of this. We're down to 570. We were on 600 before I got distracted by all of this. And... ooh, I think our canola oil as well is very, very slightly dropping. We do seem to be permanently in canola seeds. So another press might be in the works. Which is fine. We can... now, of course, that won't have any power going to it. Where can we sneak in another canola press? And the problem is getting power to it and also having it on the network somewhere, so to say. Ooh, how about back here? It'll get power from these, who I assume have power. And able to get all required materials. We're still struggling for scrap, I assume. We are. In that case, go and pause you. Go and pause you as well. Let's go down to 3. Though even then, it looks like we're struggling to get scrap metal. That's because they are struggling to get materials. They are out of explosives. Let's go down to normal scrap metal. Let's get the non-explosive version for a second. And you are struggling because you don't get any bad water. Ah, yes! Of course, I forgot at the end of the last episode, I realized we have a bad water problem. Because by making this world beautiful and green and blue, we have in fact taken away all of our bad water. That's a problem. And we are draining this. This will be gone before we know it. So I can't simply go and chuck it in there. Now, I could attempt to get a couple of pumps literally around here. I don't know how viable that really is, to be honest. Other than that... I'm not quite sure what our options are. I mean, I would literally... But then as well, that would take away from the power of this. I don't really like that answer. Where are my other bad water sources? We've got some coming... Nope, not coming down here anymore. That's been cleaned out. We have one all the way over here somewhere. Hello, Hackstar Plays. Welcome to the chat for the very first time, and thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Welcome, and thank you for the raid. Thank you for so very, very much. So at the moment, all of you just joined, we are looking for another source of bad water, as I've kind of gone and killed mine. Bad forward planning. However, we are just currently looking for a new source. Now, it's all the way over here, though. It's kind of a long way. That would be a very long production chain. I feel like there does need to be a... Oh, why? Thank you. Thank you very much for the follow as well. I feel like there's going to be some kind of mega structure coming in here. I feel like I need to build myself a bad water reservoir to make sure I never run out. And to do that, we're going to start designing. So what I want... I don't want to invade my current good water, because, you know, that's... I've gone to the effort of cleaning the world up. Let's not go backwards. So what I'm thinking is... go and build ourselves some form of a structure here. Probably not going to be the most efficient structure in the world. I think I let that sail when I mean, yeah, if I divert from this, I'm going to lose my power, and that's powering up my whole industry. Thank you very much, Hackstar Raider. So we're going to build something down here. Oh, I've lost my little planning area I've got going. And so we're going to go and build ourselves a reservoir, basically. Let's... something around that size. This is, once again, going to be a lovely big project. We do love our lovely big projects on this stream. That's the right size. Yes, it is. Somebody put a tree in our way. I think Zombievers is the next update. I think we've got that coming. Although, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if someone in the community ends up making zombie beavers as a mod. It, you know, because let's be honest, the modding community for this game is awesome. Let's not deny it. They've come up with some great things. I don't play with mods myself at this point, just because I really want to get into the base game. But, you know, one thing I do want to try is the trains. That is something I would very much be up for having a look at in one of my next playthroughs. I do know there are a couple of other races? Clans? What are we calling them these days? Clans, I think? There are a couple of other clans currently modded. Still kind of works in progress, I would say. Okay, that needs to be one higher. We may as well keep going forward because we don't have any bad water, but that's not going to be solved by me having the game paused. And so this, in essence, is going to go and become the base of my reservoir. However, we have a couple of trees that we're going to need to destroy along the way. Because, well, quite frankly, they're in the way. And so, get down temporarily into this one. We are going to divert this a little bit, shall we say? And then let's build ourselves a set of stairs. And then, of course, we need to give ourselves access to this wonderful structure to start building. Now, we do actually come down and take off a few more layers again. We have a random set of stairs under here. Whoops. That's working hours. Let's put that back on. And let's click the right button because I'm not that nice to my beavers. I'd like to think I'm fairly nice, but I'm not that nice. So we're going to go ahead and put a set of stairs here. And a lovely path. And that, in effect, actually does get them access. Because if I go and build myself a lovely bridge. Oh, hang on. I need to undo that. Though I say that gets them access. Famous last words. Oh, I can't build under that, can I? No, of course I can't. I could build it to here. That is access. Now, I do just need to take out that one as well, just to get down to that annoying tree. Oh, wait, that's not going to work. Because... oh, they started... wow, they almost built it already. That was quick work. That's not going to quite work. Because I always do forget about the entranceway. It needs sorting out on these. Let's go and plug that in. Let's go and throw that in as well. And thank you very much for the follow, Slappy Blades. Thank you very much. Your support is always appreciated, and it's so happy. I'm so happy to have you here. It's so happy. I don't know what it is, but it's happy to have you here too. And sorry for those of you that keep seeing me look off to the right. That's where I've got my chat and my activity feed, and that's where I used to have my camera until probably about a week ago. And so I keep looking up there to think I'm looking at you, but I'm not. And it's probably a little bit off-putting for most of you. So we're going to go ahead and build this. This is the start of our bad water reservoir, basically. And it's not going to be huge. I mean, it doesn't really need to be. I don't need to build it to a massive height. I do need to build it all the way over to here, mind you. Which is going to take some effort, I'll tell you that much. Let's go. Hang on. Let's return this to normal. That weirds me out a little bit. And then we need to impermeable floor this bad boy. Up to that much. That's how big it's basically going to be. And then we need to levy this bad boy as well. That's what's currently going to look like, and so that's going to grow. And do I take it from there? Have I got a better source? Ooh, idea. Could I, whenever I get a bad tide, fill this up enough to last me? That would be so much easier. I reckon we can. Operation rely on bad tide. So what I want to do is... you two are going to disappear, unfortunately. I do hate destroying good forest. Enjoy the rest of your day, Hackstar. Hackstar, sorry. It's not Hackstar, my apologies. Enjoy the rest of your day, Hackstar. And thank you once again for the raid. And yes, we do still have a trapped beaver. He's lasting a long time. I can't get him out, unfortunately. He got himself really well stuck, so he's become one with the machines. Okay, they're both reachable. That's good. I feel like irrigation barriers are now going to come up to here, and then they'll go on that side, because this is now going to become... That'll become a sluice, I think. Does that work in the grand scheme of things? Yeah, that'll all still be blocked off. That'll become a sluice that only lets out bad water. And then we are going to bring bad water. So that comes in right onto the corner. Which is fine. Absolutely fine. Let's keep all that building. And so, for this to work, we need to build this up. And you have no idea how much of me inside wanted to start singing. Or at least saying the word buttercup. But I'm gonna... Yeah, we're not gonna go there. We shall... So that's going to, in essence, be my aqueduct. Go and... Whoa! Gotta love the good old Timberborn jump. Go and plug this in here. What we're actually going to do is take the front off that, basically. Because we need to make some overhangs. Beginning of the end? No, I'm joking. The beginning of our aqueduct. Oh, I'm gonna love it if I can make it with just 2 overhangs in essence. I reckon I can. If I can put this on here. Oh, I can. I really, really can. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so that will come in there. Then... How do we go? How do we go from here? Of course, they will have a full set of walls, which also means that irrigation barrier has to come out one. Also means... do unfortunately have to lose a few more trees. Okay, like I said. Those guys are going to have to go as well. They're going to be replaced by impermeable floor. That's obviously the wall of... Oh, I say that. That is actually unnecessary. I mean, it will look a little bit random. Let's cancel the demolition of him. That will need to go, as will that one. We can save that one tree. That one tree gets to live, basically. Because water cannot flow diagonally. So... Wait, what have I done? These both need removing as well. We do need an irrigation barrier. Oh, we'll put one there anyway. Let's keep the land clean. And let's give them access in the long run. Oh, my poor beaver. My poor beaver. We'll do the same. We'll have a path going down both sides. I think that'll allow us, you know, to get this all fully built. And then down here, can we focus on these trees a little bit? Can we remove these from existence, please? Too far to be reached? Why is it? Oh, damn it, it's down a level. Go and pause quickly before I've got too much of this to undo. Okay, right. Yes, this will work. Let's go ahead and delete that and put one of those down. And that will allow me then to get to this tree. And then with that, I can also go and throw in our next level of levies, sorry, and get that all going up. Get that all going up. All right. Let's keep that going. All right, and we're actually building from the other side now as well. I mean, that makes sense, because that in essence was placed first. Please nobody get stuck. Okay, no, they should never get stuck. They should always be able to exit via that way. And can we make these a priority, please, so I can finish with my designing? And with those out of the way, that will mean you'll need an irrigation barrier there. That is unnecessary, but it's also... no, I think I will need to move it for... I think I will need to move it. Okay, so our gears are... They are slowly decreasing. Our explosives aren't going... Oh, yes, we don't have any bad water. Our explosives aren't going up. Neither is our extract, unfortunately, on that point. Our scrap metal is still struggling. Definitely not due to input materials. It is very... Wow. Every bot running up here just got tired. It is just due to output materials. And because we are using so much of it so rapidly. Let's go and pause another smelter. I mean... this is going to mean that our metal, it is very much dropping off now. I'm going to go and pause all 3 bot factories as well. Just because I don't want to run out of metal. And the bots, well, District 3 is a future project. They haven't even started building the bridges, etc. because, of course, they're still building all of this. This is the current flavor of the day. Which is fine. Let's keep building that. That's what I want first, to be honest with you. That is more important to me. However, this is also still very important. And very much needs to be done. Go and let's have these 2 as a priority, please. Let's go and at least finish this bit that we can get to off. Yeah, let's go ahead and remove that. Right, and then where do we stand? Go ahead, that needs to go in there. That needs to disappear from there. All right, we're building ourselves into a box. Yeah, we can get there. That's all perfectly fine. And of course, all of this middle layer needs to become impermeable. Then we simply need to work our way up there. Which there's going to be some interesting controls, I think, on our sluices for this one. Because yeah, I don't quite think I want to go to the effort of building this one all the way up. But it is definitely going to have to be up a couple of layers. And I mean, because let's be honest, I think 6 layers is the deepest, if I remember, for our bad water. 6. If we go in here, that's how deep we may as well make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there you go. That is as deep as it may as well be. Anything above that is just a waste. And so on that, you then want a couple of sluices. Let's come a bit further forward for that. Oh, I think we need one more. And then I have a feeling it's not even a full size. Oh, maybe it is. Or maybe I'm just too low still. Nope. Right height. Wrong size. And so wait, how am I thinking this is going to work? This is not going to work, is it? How did I make this work over here? Because I'm sure that dips and winds. One has to duck. Back. You do need a 4 wide part in it. That's how that works. That is how that works. Yeah, this is definitely not going to work the way it's looking. Comes down here. I could jump one across. It's how do we want to do this? I do kind of want it to jump one across. Fortunately, if only this was one shorter, I could have built this one longer. That's unfortunately not how it's gone and worked out for me. Now, let's give them access to keep building. And to go ahead and do that, we need to increase the height of what we have here. Well, that's not entirely going to work. Stairs take up too much space. I always forget about stairs. Stairs and their space. And okay, we're going to go and unaccess the bottom path for now. Although I say that, now I may as well. Hang on, I'm being silly here. I'm being very silly here, and I'm being very short-sighted. Let's get rid of these. So in front of these, we're going to have enough space for 3 pumps. And they take up 2 apiece. So Most of one there. Go up to 2. And 3. I may as well, I mean, let's be honest, I may as well delete at least one of these. If not 2. And so then from here, that will allow them to sit on there, and that will be their entrance path. So we don't need to go any further backwards. What we can do is start plotting how we're going to get there. And we want... just like that. Now, that is a safe set of stairs. That is a safe set of stairs if I prioritize it. As I am not trustworthy when it gets to beavers, comes to beavers getting stuck in places, aka behind stairs. That's that. We can now get rid of this. And let's go and fill in this slight gap we've got here. Let's see if we can't delete this path without deleting everything else. Almost. Get rid of that path. And then let's fill in our gap in our wall. 5, 6. Just the height it needs to be. Then, if I... smart building. If I put these the other way round, and they can both be built from the ground, and then the platforms can be built from the top. So the uprights can be built from the ground, and these can be built from the top. We do, however, still have the problem of a needed overlap. How do we go about doing the overlap? I mean, I could build a whole nother thing here. Does kind of not quite give what I need. Go and have you in there. Go and have my levies in there. And I suppose I could just... I think the easiest way would be to build it up from this side. Means this one could be a lot shorter, although it probably needs to be... no, it could be a lot shorter. Because if we go full size here, then we simply just, towards the end, transfer to here. That doesn't quite work. We can have them continue to build now. I think I'm far enough ahead of them that I can start getting things down. Because we need to put a levee by there to get a slightly bigger structure. And put it in there. Because then I want my construction to come back up. I want a sluice in there. This is going to be set at 11.5. No, so close if this goes above 5.6. Maybe 5.5. I don't know. We'll play with that and see what ends up working. Let us also allow them access around this structure. That should allow them to build everything. Then we are also going to replace this with a sluice. Which we're going to mark as priority. And close below a contamination of 1%. Yes. Okay, that should have been marked as automatically closed right now because contamination is 0%. There you go, now it's built, it's opened up, and close above a downstream depth of 0.75. So that should still hold the bad water in here, but if there is space for it to come into here, it will. And then this will be controlled by this, which if there's space in here for water to flow into, it will. That should stop any form of flooding, I think. I think that's how it all goes. I think that will work well. That should go really nicely, I think. So we've just hit a drought. Doesn't really make too much of a difference to me right now. Things look like they should be drying out, but they won't too much. Okay, and this reservoir is slowly dropping. We have capped the bad water source. I wonder if we can get it to be fully depleted before we finished our reservoir. We're doing okay. Things are going a little bit slower than I'd like. Are we missing materials? I don't think so. I mean, we've got lots of storage for everything. We've got lots of logs and planks. We've got quite a bit of metal. And that's basically what everything takes. It's just a case of having it built. So in that case, because we do have a lot of bored beavers, basically. We've got 67 bored beavers. So I'm going to go and actually throw down... Well, we can sneak one in here. And can I sneak in any more builders' huts anywhere? Oh, that's not even in the right district. Going crazy here. I am going to... Now, I'm invading the beaver neighborhood, which I apologize for to every beaver in advance. Because that's not how things should go. We're just going to go and slam down a load of builders' huts. Because we've got 67 spare beavers. So let's have 16 of them help with construction. We've still got to get to what'll be District 3. With our 2 trees marked for cutting. We've still got to get there and then eventually start building all of this. So, like I said, yeah, let's... And then, of course, as every one of these gets built, the next one should, in essence, get built faster. As there are 4 more beavers now putting in the effort to go ahead and build it. And how are we looking on resources? Our metal's still holding. Our gears are, in fact, going up a bit. That's because we've gone and paused these bot factories. Like I said, our metal's holding. Our scrap is, in fact, increasing. I'm very happy to see that. Wow, this guy is lasting. Do you reckon he'll make it to the end of the stream, folks? I mean, I'm thinking not. We've got a fair bit left, but he is lasting. He's like taunting me. You left me here to die. All right, whoa, we get it. Sheesh. Sorry, man, you got yourself stuck. I couldn't get you out. Like, power down, go to bed. Hello to the chat. Helgrom, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I've never actually used a beehive. Plus, the beehives are on Folktales. I'm currently playing Iron Teeth. But that's actually really good to know. Like I said, I've never really played around with them so much because I don't know. I feel like the Folktales farming is ridiculous. It's just insane. So I feel like I never really need beehives. That's just me. Maybe I haven't, you know, had a small enough situation. Diorama would be a great one to try that on, I think, because Diorama, you are really compressed for space. Yeah, I think maybe that's it. Maybe you know, beehives very much could help me be efficient, but like I said, maybe if I tried Diorama, but it's just, like you can see here, I mean, this is on Iron Teeth, and Iron Teeth are nowhere near as good as farmers as Folktales. You know what I mean? My canola seeds are not the thing that's holding me back. Yeah, maybe if I was on a smaller map like Diorama, which I may try next. Who knows? I think beehives would be the thing. And like I said, but they are Folktales, so it would depend how I went on the map, whether I chose to be Folktales or Iron Teeth. Yes, I am going to move on to corn eventually. I need to open up District 3. Whoops, sorry. This will be District 3, and this is going to be a massive farming region because I only have... Let's select it without pausing. Most of my beavers are now beavers of leisure, but I only have, as you can see, a couple of the different food types. So, we've got a lot to fill in the middle, because I would like to get all the food types. You know, I feel like I could just go and build the Earth Repopulator, but yeah, you know, I feel like that shouldn't just be the end of every game. So I'm gonna try and get my beaver's happiness, you know, up into like the 50 or something. I don't know what you can max out of, actually. Let's have a quick check. This guy's on a 30, and he can get another 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, 13, oh dear lord, 23, 31, 32, I can't count, 5, 8, 42, 47. He's on a 30, so 77 happiness. Yeah, let's get 50. That's 2/3 happiness. That's not bad. I reckon it should be quite easy, actually. We have quite a few... You know, I'm going to say a happiness of 60. We have quite a few schemes in terms of getting some happiness going that are on the go. Right, we now have 16 more builders thrown at this project, so it should go a lot faster. But yes, there's... I need to sort out my production chain. I killed my bad water source, Pelgrom, unfortunately, so that's what we're currently doing. We are testing an alternative bad water source. Now, oh, this is actually pumping bad water somehow. No, it's not. It's just in motion. It's just pretending on me. There is no bad water down here. So yes, this is basically going to run off a bad tide. So unfortunately, it's also not going to be an immediate fix. We have to wait for a bad tide. We need to get it built before a bad tide. Main issues on that game is most efficient irrigation is through a hole with a pump. Yeah, you can either use water dumps or you can build channels. I'm quite a fan of channels because I personally don't like water dumps too much. Sometimes they are necessary, but I like to try and use channels and block everything off. For instance, up here, this is can actually all be connected by a water source. I need to kind of block off the ends and probably deepen it. This area, I am going to have to channel with deep water holes everywhere. to make this a giant farming area. Yep, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. They do when it comes to drought. But then if you build them 3x3, that will actually probably survive most droughts. Sorry, 3x3. If you make a channel 3 wide, because then it gives permanent irrigation. And it basically has the same irrigation as a 3x3 hole. So if you made the channel exactly the same, the only problem with that is then too many channels take away usable land, which obviously you actually need for the crops. Yeah, I mean, it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. But there are. That's the thing I like about this game. There are many different ways to solve your problems. Whether, like you said, you know, you've just been talking about beehives, water dumps with a 3x3 hole, as opposed to having channels with a 3x3 hole or a 3 wide channel. Like I said, there are quite a few different ways to solve your problems, which, like I said, is the thing I like about this game. But, you know, that's something I try and push and talk about as well. Well, that's something I believe in. I probably don't talk about it too much because it never really comes up. But, you know, there are many ways to solve problems, and so kind of like do them your own way, in essence, you know? Because, yeah, alright, you could technically say one's a right way and one's a wrong way. But, they're all fun ways. I'll give you that much. There are all many ways to solve the same problem. And they're all quite situational as well. We will eventually get over here. How are we looking? We haven't started building any of it yet because we're still doing this. Which is now going a lot faster. Due to, I feel like that just built itself. Due to me now having 16 more builders. They have many things they can throw at the ground. And so they will. I could even go and build some more, to be honest. I've still got 49 beavers just idling about. But I'm also worried that I will completely and utterly destroy my resources. Yes, water evaporation works on how many of the adjacent cells for the current square of water are land or water. That's why a 3x3 is the best you can get, because technically it surrounds the center block, you could say, by the most water. Technically, you could argue then, you can't really get better than that, because even if you make it a 4x4, you've kind of still got the same amount of land touching the same amount of water, etc. I mean, you have a bigger area, so it takes longer. But yeah, water evaporation goes on how much land touches the square of water. That's also why having it as a square, a nice 3 flat side square, is also much better, because if you have things like this where it's jagged, then that means, for instance, this square touches 3 blocks of land, as opposed to you know, if it was just a nice squared off thing, you'd have less land touching water, basically. Yeah, that's how irrigation works. It's a 7? Who's a 7? Is it the maximum amount of water you can have surrounding a water? Or the least? Or the most? I don't know. No, because if... Yeah, max is 8. Because that center square is surrounded by 8 blocks of water. We should be... we'll easily be ready for the next bad tide to hopefully get this filled up. And hopefully get me some good bad water reserves coming back in. I mean... there was no point in me making it any deeper. I suppose I could have made it wider. Which maybe I'll have to add an extension at some point and then just blow a hole in it. But, see how this runs. We, of course, need to wait for our bad tide to see how everything goes. But it's pretty much finished. I'm very happy with. You may as well be deleted as well. You're not serving any purpose there anymore, unfortunately. And let's get rid of the path we no longer need. And let's go ahead and build our 3 deep bad water pumps. Which unfortunately have no bad water to pump right now, but... Oh, that can go. We don't like that. And they will all be serviced by bots. We have quite a few of those going spare right now as well. Ooh, we're looking... good. I guess this is the lower priority on the construction side. I have no idea what order I built anything anymore. If it has a neighbor with higher number, it's the same number. Are you sure on that? I mean, I've used the... There's a wonderful resource on the Discord. A lovely Excel spreadsheet where you can add and remove blocks. It has a neighbor with a higher number. Yes. Oh, yeah, no, I can see how that... I can see how that works. But even then, so that's still going to make a square, a 3x3 square, the most efficient. Or a 3 wide channel. Because that is in essence just a very long 3x3 square. Because then, yeah, if you start making any dips further into it, it just becomes less and less efficient, basically. But yeah. No, yeah, I get that. I get that. Okay. So this is all ready to go. All we actually need now is a bad tide. I can't believe I'm actually wanting a bad tide. So that we can go and fill up our bad tide reservoir. Now, will this last us in between bad tides? In fact, probably not. This is much too small, isn't it? I need to extend this by a long way. Max range between each other. I will take your word on that, Talgro. There's something I cannot work out in my head right now. I think this very much needs extending, and so I'm going to go and extend it before we get a bad tide. Because once the bad tide has been and gone, it's going to be a very long time waiting for another one. And 24 tiles between them. Maybe. That's I'm not gonna lie, that's a whole lot of numbers, and I'm very much more of a practical person. So I would actually need to... Is even that gonna be big enough? I mean, I don't really want it to touch the ground. Yeah, we'll go for that. Whoops, sorry, went and built something random there. I'll have to go and clean that up very shortly. I'm gonna go and extend this. Ah! I'm building more things random. And we do just need to give access to this, which I've gone and blocked off with my wonderful water pump. Fine, we'll... go and add some quick access. Let's go ahead and build the extension, hopefully before a bad tide happens. Because, yeah, no, looking at how small this actually is in reality, that's not going to be enough to get us basically through, what, 3 cycles, 4 cycles? I think is how long you get between bad tides usually. So no, that's not big enough. We need an extension. Would kind of build an extension, well, in every direction really. Some are just easier than others. Wow, and he's still holding on. He's down to 30% durability. I thought being out of energy for so long, he would have just collapsed. Oh, and what's the point? Did we did go and sort out our irrigation as well, or our bad water blockers. Hi, Tomage. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's great to have you here. You join us as we're making a future save for our bad water, because being a good beaver, I went and made the world nice and blue and green. And then I had no, nothing left. No bad water left to power my industry, which was stupid of me and badly sighted. And over here, how do we have for our second aqueduct? We're doing pretty well. Still got the last wall to drop off. We've dropped off a lot of that bad water. We've capped it for now, simply because, well, I was basically trying to see how well we could drain this lake. And we are building what will be pretty much our last level of uprights. Kind of, this has not really got any overhangs off it. It's just because we were one short of the edge of the map. And then this will all be powered. Ooh, we have our power shafts down as well. That's beautiful. This will all be powered. And then there are goals of other things. But I'm going to finish building this, because this will be the furthest thing away they have to walk to, and so will be the longest thing they have to go and do. Now, we've always had a bit of a problem with our pools. And I'm loath to use a fluid dump, but it may just come to that. I'm also loath to build a dam here instead of a levee, because it will, I think, ruin our whole waterfall cascade effect. I mean, I could be wrong. I could always go replace one of these with a levee and one of these with a dam. And that will, in essence, give equal coverage to both sides. I mean, that will decrease the speed of these. You know, I think we have to try it. Go and place that with a dam. I'm going to make that highest priority because I want to see what that does. We might still overflow. I mean, we're almost overflowing. Nope, we're dropping down. I'm not quite sure. I think we're getting the good old surge effect. Go and place that back in there and see what happens. Well, now, folks, get that building finished. Have we just gone and removed our beautiful cascading waterfall effect? I think we have. We do now have permanent swimming pools with a beautiful water pool at one end for you to swim under and come back from. This, I do believe, however, that we have now taking away our beautiful cascading waterfall effect. And I don't think it's coming back. I don't think it's coming back. It's, I think it's a necessity. Like I said, I could go and replace one of these with a levee. That would decrease... would decrease the speed of these, which is pretty much our capacity for our... And of course, you know, we have to be able to brew our coffee. Coffee is life for Iron Teeth, let's be honest. Average half 5 chances for bad tide on hard, 40%. Okay. Oh, I really wasn't a great fan of the map Canyon, if I'm perfectly honest, Talgrub. This is, in fact, this is a custom-made map. This is actually called Beaver Canyon. And I prefer this one much more because the canyon obviously is just one simple canyon. And I don't know, for me it was a bit... Well, it just wasn't that interesting. But this one, on the other hand, this one is... It is on Steam. It is made by... someone I really can't remember the name of. Leon Jean or Jean. I can't quite remember. But yeah, no, this one I really do enjoy. This one just, I don't know, I feel like it gives me so many more options. It's a much bigger map, of course. But yeah, I don't know, Canyons was well the first one where I started to build big mega structures, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from building my mega structures, mostly by how badly I was building them. But I did learn a lot. Ah, well, that's just going to be annoying. I'm going to have a slight problem getting to the middle here, aren't I? Fantastic. That being the case, what I think we need to do is build ourselves a little bridge there. That'll get us over the top. That, of course, bridge will... No, it won't disappear. It'll look very weird once I get rid of this wall. It will go to nowhere. But, that'll get us access to build. That'll do for now. Planks and logs are a resource I do not have any problems with after building this. Our gigantic forestry farm. It is actually now almost getting fully felled. But even then, I don't know if it ever will. Block of water on the map edge. Do you mean as in you can't make water go back over a water source? Yes, that wasn't the solution I went with for canyons. I went with a really giant mega structure dam. And I learned a bit more about pathing. I learned a bit more about I learned more about pathing. I learned more about dead zones when it comes to bad water diversion. For instance, this is more of a recent build, and so this is where I had my bad water diversion, and making it so that you've, for instance, building this here as opposed to here makes this much more efficient, because if I built it here, this little area becomes a bit of a dead zone, and it takes a lot longer for the water to clean out because of these little dead zones. So little things like that as well. I learned about that. But no, I built something hideous. I built something absolutely hideous on canyons. It hurt me to look at it a little bit by the end, and I was very happy when it was finished. I built a giant dam pretty much at source, and if you're looking at source, as you look to the right, eventually you've got a bad water source. I kind of built a giant dam going all the way up there with a blocker, so that all of the bad water left the map via that way. It was massive. It was huge, I tell you. And it was ugly, and it was inefficient, and it took me so long to build. It was absolutely horrible, if I'm perfectly honest. It was... Why? How? Who? No, he's not stuck. He's just slow. Okay. I thought we had another stuck beaver. I was like, how do you people keep managing this? I thought I made this beaver-proof. Hopefully I have. I still think I potentially have. I think I've made this beaver-proof. But we'll see. How are we doing for materials over here? We're still good. We've still got so many logs. We shall be fine. No, I think I've made that build beaver-proof. But yeah, no, I now do favor the simple. For instance, this is just my tiny reservoir here now for this place, which is fine. Because without my pumps anymore, this can probably... I kind of keep this here for emergencies, but without my pumps working anymore, this doesn't really go down anyway. Yep, no, that is a much better solution. I will never argue with that. Like I said, no, my solution was hideous. But it was the first time I kind of did that thing, and like I said, that's my excuse I'm going for. And, oh no, it was horrible. It was truly horrible. It hurt me. It hurt me. By the time it was finished, I was so happy. I was so happy. But yeah, that was the first map that I ever actually got around to building my Earth repopulator, though. So that happened. That very much happened. But yeah. Oh, come on, man. Stop toying with me. Just die. I got it. You're stranded. Leave us. Take a nap. Made a giant water pool if I'm finished and have the upper... and filled the upper part of the map between the canyon entirely. Really? So did you, like, move... So as in you flooded the whole canyon, so did you move, like, your whole society to the upper reaches? That's quite big. That is quite a big thing. Oh yes, I also learned about, which I've managed to do here naturally, but I also learned about in the mansion, about blocking off your water pumps. So as in giving your water pumps a dedicated area to take water from. Ah, okay. I do have a Discord. Here's the guessing. If you type !Discord, does it come up? I do use Botrix for all of my commands and stuff, but honestly, Botrix is so finicky. I'm starting to move away from it. No, unfortunately not. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I will get you a link. This can run in the background. It's unfortunately not doing much. And I'll get you a link very shortly. Like I said, I'm using Botrix, but it's very finicky in my opinion. And I'm starting to move away from it, but it's a slower process. I need to rearrange everything. Yeah, so everything I can carry on building. There's nothing kind of waiting to be done. Let me go and grab you a beautiful link for that Discord. Discord. And... right. Right. Go. Link to the Discord, my friend. Okay, so this is almost finished. Very happy to see that. This has almost finished. We're coming towards the end of the reservoir. There are things starting to be built down here somewhere. And then, so the last thing that would need to happen for this place is my power source. My large water wheels. Ah, yes, that last one can't quite be built yet because we have something in the way. Yeah, most of them down. You can get most of them built. I can actually remove these now and fill in the gaps. As they can simply run down each side. And let's go and fill in gaps with my other large water wheels. And then there's just going to be one here coming off this, the other way around. Not the most efficient point because it is on the turning point, I understand that, but it's kind of just where it fit. And then also go and plug that in. And then, of course, there will be what comes next, which will be over here. Going to be the next part of this great build. Yeah, it's coming along so nicely now. And, of course, once we get to the end, we start coming backwards and everything gets closer. Everything gets closer. We should have finished over here, I hope. Yes, we are just building the last of the floor pieces. Then, and we're going to take this apart piece by piece because Otherwise, I'm not going to have access. Go ahead and chuck down that piece of impermeable floor. Let's get ahead. Let's grab all those logs. I like that. I like that we actually have some storage to clean up our rubble. Go ahead and then build that. Go ahead and do the same. Oh, impermeable floor. So yeah, one by one. So we're basically just making this a little bit bigger, because like I said, you know, we got quite a while between bad waters. I'd rather not find out after the first one that I have to go and extend it. Of course, now we have a random bridge going into nowhere. A non-accessible bridge going into nowhere as well. Go ahead and delete that. And then let's get ready. Remove our last line of them. Alright. Will this be big enough to get us, or to at least have us with enough resources in between bad tides? Again, I don't know. I'm slightly doubtful. I feel like it needs to be much, much bigger. But it's had its basic extension. And multiple point, it exists. So it can actually start doing its job. If I need to extend it, it will remain where it is. Now, of course, what we need is a bad tide. Everybody, which is a really weird thing to say, I feel, whilst playing Timberborn, pray for a bad tide. Pray for a bad tide. Something I would never usually suggest whilst playing this game. Look at that, we are building the end of our aqueduct. Isn't that just beautiful? Isn't that just beautiful to be able to see? Secondly, did we... No, we did not leave any gaps in the impermeable floor, just so we don't flood anything, because I guess we knew we were gonna... This was gonna be the last thing we were gonna be building. Now, I'm sure this is still evaporating. However slowly. Just that much of a giant pool of water. How's this one looking? Yep, still pretty much like a giant pool of water. Although, it has dropped down a fair bit. I mean, the exit point was here. We've gone down 1, 2, 3, 3.5 levels. Will eventually dry out and the bad water will no longer be on the map. And of course, we do have a few more sources, which may or may not get capped. Not entirely sure. As you can see, this is the area I want to work with for District 3. So far... Oh, we're starting to get things over here. Too far from it... Ah, we've gone and blocked ourselves off, haven't we? Go and build that, put that path back in. I can actually now get up here to continue filling this up. Alright, alright, alright. Beautiful. Oh, we are coming towards the end. Couple more pieces to build. Yeah, a couple more pieces to build. Come on now. I know I've got some robots over here giving me some work. Come on now. Let's be having you. Oh, one levee and one impermeable floor. And then this is finished. Other than that now, then we just have to start back building everything. Oh, and we have one large water wheel already. We're not giving too much love to building these levees. We're really not. I mean, that's a connected path. There's no reason why they can't get to these levees. They're just not getting much love. They'd rather throw the resources at the water wheels first, it seems. There you go. The aqueduct is finished all the way to the end. All we have to do is actually build up the containment unit. And it'll be beautiful. Oh, that's why they're not giving it much love. It's on a lower priority. There you go. That should sort things out and get things moving. So we're building everything else first. Then... I'm not going to go and give this priority. I think enough people should end up peeling off. Go and give it a bit of love over time. Of course, we are going to keep throwing resources. There's so many logs, so many planks. How am I doing on logs and planks? We're struggling for planks. We are using that many of them in that rapid of a succession. Logs are still looking fantastic. So our planks, they'll recover. I'm not too worried about that. They will recover. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remove a couple of these for now. The ones that haven't had any resources put into them. And so the only one we're actually now building is this one. Just so we, you know, don't completely destroy the number of planks we have. And then this is also being built. They should be building this because you can't get all your builders into these little points. Right, come on, bad tide. Come on, threaten me with a bad tide. I dare ya. Come on, game. Threaten me with a bad tide. Our canola oil is back up and running. That's because our grease factory has stopped. It no longer has extract. As long as the food doesn't stop, although our algae rations have taken a massive hit. And that is because we struggle to get algae. That can be solved. That can be easily solved. Get a couple of extra hydroponic gardens, but do I want to put it here? Or do I simply put... I think I put it next to it would be easier. And let's increase our algae production. Again, it keeps selecting beavers for random things I build. Very strange. And that, in essence, should keep us back into algae rations. Of course, it'll take a little while, but that won't be a problem. Anything else that we're... mangroves, but that's just because we have a small mangrove farm. We could look to increase that at some point. We only have a few coffee beans, but that's just because the way I've designed it. We have a full tank of coffee. So that's not a problem. Bot parts are, well, going up considerably fast. That's unusual. We, of course, are struggling for dynamite and extract. That is a known problem. Everything else looking quite good. Planks are very much taking a nosedive. That's because we went and built several of these, which take 80 each. So, you know, that's 320 planks right there. So, you know, they'll recover. They'll recover. It might take some time, but they'll recover. And, yeah, no, let's leave that there because it does help us build from both sides. And this is also then slowly getting built, so we will have access to the beginning of District 3 very soon. Other than that, everything's just kind of ticking along. I think most other things are good to go. Like I said, I really do want that bad tide. Awesome. I'll have a look at those. I might as well have a look at those now. There's not a lot happening in the stream. Let's have a quick look, shall we? More to the point, welcome to the Discord. So let me have a look. Which... That's right. Yep, that's the income. That's the dam. That's what you're building up. This is... Wow. Okay, yeah, that's a bigger dam than I went and built, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Yeah, you've done... kind of similar... I can see you flooded more of the bottom area. And so you've come up a little bit higher, it looks like. Or you've dynamited out. Very nice. That is a much better... I'm not going to lie, that is much better than what I did for Canyon. After the stream, I'll put a couple of pictures from my Canyon playthrough up there as well. Yeah, it's... Like I said, I learned a lot playing Canyon. And It was an interesting playthrough. Okay, so we've stopped smashing planks. We have almost built... We're almost on the last wall of our... Ah, you dynamited down. Fair enough. How are we doing over here? We are... Again, we're slowly getting there. Slowly pushing along. What I am going to do... Once this one is finished... I think I am going to remove this path and put in one more water wheel, because that will, in essence... Well, it connects these two through to here. These two will actually already be going. And as well, we have finished getting to the underneath. So I think as well, I can now go ahead and get rid of that path. Let's kind of have a bit of a double check. I mean, the actual aqueduct is all finished, and... Drought? I don't want a drought. I want a bad tide already. What happens when you don't have forward planning, folks? You end up with no bad water and begging for bad tides. It's really weird. Hang on, let's pause quickly. We will have no stranded beavers. Let's run the route. Okay. There are no beavers on the wrong side of this destruction. Haha. You do have to love... You really do have to make everything look aesthetically pleasing in this game, don't you? Or at least as best you can. Sometimes you can't and you end up, you know, kind of going for best option. But, you really do have to try, don't you? Okay, we are almost at District 3. I like stacking stuff. Yeah, I just like things to look neat and tidy, you know? We are now... Because these guys are just unnecessary. And my coffee area works perfectly fine. My berry area works perfectly fine. We don't need you anymore either. Because we need to finish off fencing off our beaver neighborhood area. Once this is all finished, we are also going to remove these 3 builders from inside here because that is not where they're supposed to be. And what comes in our next level? This takes power. Right, so that's kind of in our next level of stuff, really. Now, a couple of detailers. We can start customizing our beaver's tails. Wouldn't be a bad shout. And also decorations. We don't have any beaver statues. We're going to go and chuck a couple of these down here. We've got plenty of metal to line the walkway. Now, of course, I've realized you can surely put that all the way up to the fence underneath. Why are you guys sleeping on the floor? I don't have enough beds. Wow. Well, that kind of ruins my... We're actually going to get rid of a breeding pod, if I'm honest. Calm down my beavers. That means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, with increased... So 5 should get 50 at a base level. If I get my thing up to plus 100%, that should be 75. I believe. I'm currently on 93. No, that doesn't work out. That my maths is flawed. Because with 6 on plus 60%, that should be 60 plus the 60% was an extra 30 something. So yeah, no, 93 could have been correct. Suppose that makes sense. I should in essence have just taken away 10, 16. That should drop me down to... Oh dear lord, maths. Maths. It's all in my head. That should have dropped me down to, so 93... Would have dropped me back down to about 80. So no, so of course, no. So 50 plus 100% will be 100 beavers. I'm going to be a couple of houses short, it looks like. Now that can be solved. He says. That can be solved. Let's go ahead and leave my beaver numbers as they are. And let's go and build a couple more barrack blocks. I didn't think I was going to end up with this problem, if I'm perfectly honest. Go and have another barracks here once I've gone and actually built up the right structures. I really didn't think I'd have this problem. Okay, and so if I get plus 100%, this will be the perfect number of houses. Give or take one guy that may end up homeless for a little while. Okay. It's uneven now. I don't like it. It's just gonna bug me to no end. Oh no. It's gone and broken my symmetry. I put one each side and rearrange all of my breeding pods. I mean, there are options. There are definitely options. Let's leave my options open. Let's not build the second level just yet. Let's just build the bottom level. It broke. It broke my symmetry. Okay, we are all the way across here to be able to build this. Fantastic. 5 water ducts. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just, if I can, I like to try and let nature do the work for me. You know. What time are we on? Cool. 8 o'clock. That's my time. Just all of you know. If any of you needed to know, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. And I think our planks, I'm very happy that they go up quite fast. Go ahead and build. I'm actually going to build, not the, I always click on the power wheel. I'm going to go and hit bed and build the far one first. Let's get the most difficult one over and done with. I mean, they're all connected, so it doesn't matter which order I build them in. It does save a lot of space for water channels, yes, like I said. Like I said, there are many solutions to every problem. And so yes, no, I get the point of water dumps. It's just for me, they don't. I don't know. They just don't quite sit properly. It's just personal preference is all it is. Personal preference. And we're also going to start looking at once... Okay, he has nothing left to do in the area. We are going to... build him a large storage. And then we're actually going to allow him to cut everything. Although, kind of still controlled and directed. Let's have you cut out this middle section first. That also gets me to this set of stairs. Let's have you focus on that. Although I suppose he will go out from the spiral. But no, let's get him all the way to the back. Let's deforest that little area. And then whilst he's off and running... Up and running? Off and going? Not quite sure. What we want to do, and the whole point of most of this, has simply been to get power for a tribute of unity. Now that is... in a good enough space. We are going to build it all the way up to our fence, I think. As that will, in essence, be where we want it to be. Of course, I mean destroying the path. That'll all happen once we've finished everything up here. But for now, let's start putting down more of the foundations. That will be... there. We are going to build those two as well. Now, because we're going to have a power shaft coming out of the bottom of it and into this area, potentially even swinging around here for our entertainment and well-being buildings for the beavers that need power. This is how we're going to connect power for everything that needs power. And we can now be forced open. And let's start generating said power. We are, once again, going to go and build one more large water wheel, the second from the end. And then, oh, no, they do take 80. Yeah, they take 80 planks. I'll build one for now. Although, no, we've got 200 planks. We're going to throw them both down. Go crazy, guys. Go crazy. And this is all currently producing 3,000 power. That should get me most of my stuff. 500 power, 400 power. It's a little bit fluctuating. What are we going to settle on? I reckon we're going to settle on around about 300 and something. But yeah, 2,500 power, plus when these two come in, around 3,000 power. That will allow me to power pretty much everything I think I'm going to need to power. Oh, whoops, this needs to be logs. So that you guys can stop running everything back here, start filling this up, much more efficient. And then we will path this straight through to here. We're going to start taking out all of this stuff when we get a chance. Of course, it's not going to quite be in range of our pathing quite yet. And if we put that down there, he'll be able to get down there once I put in the rest of the path. This path will, of course, come up around here and join in. And then we want to be able to get up here to build all of this. Go ahead and place down that. That will allow us to get up here and build this off as well. Let us start snaking our way down this way as well. One path too many. And we need to go back in the other direction as well. All of this can be marked for demolition. Oh, some of it can be marked for demolition already. I didn't actually need to put the path that close, to be honest with you. They would have easily had range. That can probably be demolished already then. I like how the fact that it's close enough to here, even though they have to walk all the way around, they seem to be happy with it. That's nicely full of logs. That's fantastic. That'll be ready to build anything we need to build. You know what? Let's go and start taking all of this out as well. We've got a lot of random rubble absolutely everywhere. And I am also going to go and mark for cutting so we can get them out the way and get some dams built in their place. Those three trees as well. I assume... Oh, no, they're not actually in range. Oh, because I've gone and built this, so he has to go all the way around, of course. Of course. That's fine. There's no rush for those. We'll get to those eventually. Just have to remember not to take these out. Too far from a district. Of course, are creeping forward all the time. Now, over here, are we done? We do have our beautiful water wheels. There you go, just over 3,000, 3,200. Your dam is finished. The ruins are entirely underwater. Nice. I assume you've made it to the mine at the top of the map? So the ruins, I'm guessing, are completely unrequired. Now, I'm just going to keep that under there, because I can. I am going to remove these bits of road. Now, that has gone and basically removed the path. That's alright. That path basically now is no longer connected, but it doesn't have to be. But I don't know. I don't think it looks too bad. You know, it's like a maintenance pathway. It's completely pointless now, but it's a maintenance pathway. So it's going to stay there. And we shall now attempt to... Oh, whoops, I've got to remove that, and I've still got this to go. Oh, well, I guess this is now just going to be deleted rubble. As that actually does bother me a little bit. That can... Yeah, let's remove that as well. So that, unfortunately, is going to be deleted rubble. I feel like when I get rid of this building, all the rubble is going to turn up by here. Yes, it turns up at the entrance. I thought that would happen. So that's going to be deleted rubble as well. And then... move that. And remove that. So... I'm an idiot and I should have kept this bridge because... well, I need to. What we're going to have happen is... well, yeah, I don't really need to be fair. May have made things a little bit easier and faster. That's on me. What we need to do is... that needs to go there. Let's make sure this is going in the right spot. That needs to come in there. Let's finish basically building this power shaft. It would actually go somewhere. I needed that bridge. I need to be able to get up to here. Ah, I'm an idiot. It does make a difference. I really plan this stuff out before I go ahead and do it. That needs to go into there. This needs to... I mean, I can build most of it. Yeah, I needed that bridge. I very much needed that bridge. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna have to go and rebuild all of that now. No, wait, that's not right. Oh, wait, that's because that doesn't need to go there, that's why. Let's... let's go and rebuild all of that in. Okay, that will allow us to build everything. And once that's finished, then we'll get rid of this once again. Right. Yes, let's leave that building. And then if we come back over... well, in fact, how's... no, this isn't really doing much because this is all perfectly well going, all self-sufficient. The only thing we're waiting on is bad water. And it just won't give us a bad tide. It just will not give us a bad tide. Crazy. You want one, it doesn't turn up. You don't want one, it's there all the time. Now, the problem is, this is actually full. I need a second storage. Crazy. Of course, yes, we can... good on you. Build it from these logs. What I like to see, efficiency. And, okay, all of this now available and being built. How much does my tribute to ingenuity actually cost me? 300 metal. Oh, we're a bit short on that. 300 planks, we're fine. 400 gears, we're fine for. We're actually a little bit short on the metal. And that's because we're still... No, we're actually not struggling for scrap anymore. Let's go ahead and unpause a couple of these smelters and watch them go crazy. You're actually going to become a bot, although I don't know if we've got, yes, the available bots. Let's go and... Minimum number of bots is 24. Really, I've got that many over here. Let's make that 25. I still have 9 free bots, so we're still looking good. How are we looking here? Okay, we're building that up. And actually, if I remove this, if I go and build one of those there, and then simply I'll build one of those there. I can go and throw one of those in there. And cover this up. And that will allow me to run my power shafts where I need to run them. No, it won't, because I'm not allowed myself anywhere to build. Why am I so bad at this organization thing? I keep doing this. Gonna have 2 singles there, as we have to keep that on the level. Let's... I don't think we're gonna have a power shaft coming down here, because this is our path, and that's gonna have to stay for the swimming pools. I don't think that will end up becoming a thing, so I think where we're rebuilding is just fine. However, I'm not going to build the next part of gearing, because I don't know if I'm going to come out and across or whether I'm going to come straight down. Simply leave that as is for now. This is providing power all the way through. Okay, now this can be deleted. We have no further need to go up there. We're gonna have to remove and lose the rubble once again. Don't want that. We don't want that set of stairs. We will go and grab 2 singles. Fill in that gap. Then we can go ahead and build the rest of this, because we'll have access. Then it is time for our tribute. Our metal's wonderfully going up. District 3 is full once again. I feel like we're filling this up with logs from somewhere else. He's just... Yeah, we need to use logs, basically. Of course we're filling up with logs from somewhere else. We've got this... No, we haven't got any crazy farms going on over here. That's in the other district. Wow, we just need more, basically. Could go and mark resources for removal. Sure, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and path this out. Oh, he's finally got to cut down another tree. All right, so we're in. We're in. That now connects all of that. That now connects all of that. We can start building some of these dams with all of these logs. We have now just gone and started to flood this. I mean, it's not like we don't have the logs available to us. We can also then get some into here as well. And into here at the end. Then, oh, look at it. Gotta love it. Let's just demolish all of this as well. Let's start flooding everything backwards. And let's go ahead and path this out as well. Go ahead and get this dam built as well. There you go. Let's start getting everything built. Very nice. Now, with this built like that and this... I think this was here to flood this, but I don't know why I'm trying to flood this exactly. I mean, it's okay. This will still flood as it is wanting to. There you go. So this is now going to be holding a bit more water. There you go. That's nicely flooded. We've got some beautiful cascade waterfalls coming down. And that gives even more of this land irrigation. We are building this up, which will be our bad water, our bad tide, I should say, sorry, defense. Okay, and go and take these out. Is this one too far? Yes, I thought so. Alright. Let's leave it on demolished. That'll remind me that it needs to go. I assume it's probably, yeah, still too far. Can't demolish one up, unfortunately. And let's go ahead and build a couple of dams in there. Gonna remove that. We'll block that off. As you can see, this will cascade down to here. Then will eventually cascade down to here. So we are, unfortunately, I think, gonna have to mark a few more resources for removal. And I'm going to do these three. I'm going to get rid of that one as well. However, it's going to be a little bit longer till we get down here. Let's keep marking all the rubble we see for removal. Clean up what will be our future area. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Going along very, very nicely. A bit of fluctuation as we keep building things. Our bad tide defense is almost complete. So, bad tide anytime soon? I've got a reservoir to fill up. It is. You have 20 construction work. Do you mean as in you have 20 buildings, or you have 20 workers? So 5 buildings. I think I've got a lot in District 1. Because I just have spare beavers, so I just start chucking them down everywhere. Right now, if I was to... That's a lovely bit of farmland irrigation. If I was, say, to... build myself... Go and build myself an engine here, I think. With a whole set of... No, wait. Go and put that one further in. With... Probably would really only need 3. Let's go ahead and get rid of these berry bushes. None of these are going to be needed. We're not going to be needing any berries over here. I think that's all of them. And so with that, let's build a path. Let us go and build a couple of charging stations. That on pause a second because we're not quite going to be using it. And let's just for now, so that I can go ahead, take that out so I can go ahead and build myself a district crossing. That built. And I think we're pretty much ready to go. I mean, this is all going to have power, which is all my bots need to survive. Let's go ahead. And simply mark the whole area for cutting now. Anything you can get your mechanical paws on, you may cut. Okay, so all that's marked for cutting. Now, of course, I will need to probably slightly rearrange where my foresters are, along with an actual forester. So that'll be lumberjacks and foresters. The district crossing is set up. So yeah, we're going to need some power to keep my bots going. And then we're going to need warehouses for construction materials, etc. Other than that, our forester to keep our forest grown and a couple of lumberjacks to chop it down. And that will in essence be the start of industry. I think with that we can basically get started. Still too far? Go ahead and build your path so you can just go ahead and destroy that little bit of rubble. Thank you both. Love your work. Go ahead and remove that. So yeah, I mean, we've got 8 bots currently above what we need. So this, go ahead and pause. And as what'll pretty much be the last act of the stream, let's go ahead and start District 3. Now, I'm sure there's probably something I'm forgetting. I'm sure I will probably realize this is not quite the right thing to do. That all goes there. Let's have our district center. Now, of course, we're going to be farming all of this area as well. And a little bit further over might make a bit of sense, but it doesn't overly matter for bots as long as the production chains are good. Go and throw down that district center. Go and unpause this. Migrate worker population. What do I need? At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Let's have a minimum of 4 bots for now. There are no haulers in district. Right, it does need haulers. That can be solved. Didn't I destroy all the bushes? We got one hiding, basically. Bots just have to come and actually become part of the district. Hang on, so you're... Yes, you're all marked to be worked by beavers. You become a bot. You become a bot. Still no haulers in the district. You guys don't quite count. Let's in fact go and pause you for a second. Go and pause you. You'll also be a bot. Okay, now that does not count as a hauler. Which is a shame. Thank you very much for the follow, SG on Twitch. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are enjoying it. District management. So we are going to need a hauling post. Which is apparently blocked by tiny, tiny trees. Let's go and mark those for removal. Greetings from New Zealand. I hope you are doing well today. Let's go and grab hauler's post. Because until that is built, and we need planks. Okay, yeah, no, I messed up. I messed up. We need more storage. Lots more storage. That will be for planks. Prioritize, please. Before my bots run out of energy and I cannot... Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm going to build a district crossing which is flooded. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. That's what happens when you're clearly not paying enough attention. What can I say, folks? I'm hungry. I'm going to use that as an excuse. This side will be run by beavers. This side will be run by bots. Of course, we need planks. We are continuing to build that. You guys, yes. Come up and build all this for me. Fantastic work. We can chuck some logs in there. We can help with the logs. That's not a problem. These guys, however, look at it go. Luckily, I have a lot of builders on this side to go and get this up and running. And so... what I'm going to do is... that's in essence disable this district, send them all home. They can go ahead and get recharged, quite frankly. I'm just hoping is where he's going. Then if I was to go and say, give me 6 workers, okay, it doesn't look like he's going to turn around. He doesn't count. Bots, yep, go down to 2 for now. Bots on 2. You guys don't really matter. Okay, and we have our last plank. Let's get our hauler's post. Will again be bots on 1. No available workers. Well, hey, the charging stations are up and running. Whew, we got past my ridiculous mistake. So we're going to have plenty of logs. We now have some planks. And our engine is up and running. Our charging post will keep going. Our bots will keep going on that point. Why do you have a whole bunch of rations and berries? You crazy. We don't need any food. We don't need any water. Import if needed. Only import anything if needed. We don't need any of this. And none of that needs to come in. We won't need any coffee. Won't need any bot parts, so don't even think about it. Where's the head gone? Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. I mean, all of this should take... Can we... Yeah, do you want to take all that back, my friends? Because we don't need it. This is just going to be a pure bot society. However, it's pretty much going to run on what it's got going. So I'm going to drop this down to 1. That should give me, yes, 1 spare beaver. I'm going to unpause this because I do want them to plant some oaks. And completely cover this area for now. We are once again... I don't know where these berries keep springing up from. I definitely keep removing them all, I'm sure of it. And so let's go and chuck down a couple more oak trees in the gap. Just to, you know, keep our forest going. We may as well... fill in those gaps as well. There you go. He's going to just make sure, like I said, our forest does not disappear. There's going to be minimal forestry on the go anyway, but like I said, just to make sure it doesn't disappear. We'll keep that going. We'll fill up this full of planks. We have got a mine up here we can potentially drag more scrap from, which could help things overall in my production areas as well. And then we will eventually move down. Here is going to be a massive farming area, as well as this is also going to be a massive farming area. Can about get to some of those trees. You know what, let's mark them all for cutting anyway, because they will all eventually be cut down. Hey, I say the word eventually. We may end up just removing resources, to be honest. But let's mark them all for cutting. And so this is the humble beginnings of District 3. So District 1, we need 2. We have lots of metal, lots of treated planks, and lots of normal planks. That is all ready to go. You are plugged into the power supply. And so, we're going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. But just before we go, we are going to... not place? Yeah, place. Unlock and place our tribute to Ingenuity, which is a tribute to this wonderful dam structure back here, which in essence, you could say is a tribute to this wonderful dam structure over here as well. This is a tribute, unfortunately, not to my bad planning, or should I say fortunately, because my bad planning is costing us. We still have not been threatened by a bad tide. Been a while. This is going to, as you can see, a tribute to our Ingenuity. It will cover the whole of our beaver neighborhood. So that's going to get everybody's warm fuzzies up nice and high. I am thinking I'm going to have to remove these and put another barrack block there. That will, in essence... I do need 5 of these. That will, in essence... keep me up to a maximum of 100 beavers, which would be done by all of these. But even then, it's one lower, and it doesn't... I don't know. The fact that all my beavers have come around has just ruined my symmetry. Ruined my symmetry, I tell you. I mean, of course, I could have gone down to just 4 pods and kept 80 houses. I mean, that is more than enough beavers, to be fair. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe that is the answer. Let's wait for this breeding pod to finish. Any second now. I'm going to go ahead and remove this breeding pod. And that, in essence, should slowly start to decrease our beaver population. Now, we're up to a plus 60%. That's 40 on base plus 24. So that should leave us up to a maximum of currently 64. So we are going to lose about 20 beavers. Which I feel like my maths is horribly wrong. Because I should only go down by 16 beavers. Technically. Yeah, I feel like that's not working out quite right. Although, unless my beavers are slowly decreasing still from me having destroyed the last one. That could be happening. We have 2 people homeless. 2 poor little beavers. But no, so our beaver society should slowly start declining. But it is going to be slow because they do live to a ripe old age of, I don't know. Well, we've got one who's 66 here. Are you my oldest beaver? Who is my oldest beaver? Oh, it doesn't tell me their age. 36, 60, 71. Grandpa Beaver is 71 right now. Yep, got a couple of 70s. There you go, yeah. It will be a slow dwindle because they do live for a very long time. But our numbers should start to decrease. And when we come back, we will hopefully have a beautiful tribute to Ingenuity. And we will continue with our 3rd district. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed the stream so far. And I hope you will come back to see us build up District 3. The goal and the end point is to see how high we can get that happiness. I worked out earlier, 77, if my memory serves me correctly, is the maximum happiness your beavers can get. And we are currently on a 30. So I would like to see that doubled. I want to get us into at least the 60. And that should allow us to basically get 100%. That should hit 47. We should get plus 100% life expectancy. I don't know if it goes above that, but 47 may be where we'd like to try and cap our happiness, because that is all we have capacity for in terms of beavers. We will be going up to just 80 is the goal. 4 pods plus 100% should be 80 beavers. Should be, I think. And so, like I said, until next time, thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope you will come back. And until we do see you again, I hope that you can stay safe, happy, and healthy.